Play it day one with Xbox Game Pass.
Starfield is an action role-playing game developed and published by Bethesda Game Studios, published on the Xbox Series S and X, PC, as well as available on Xbox and PC Game Pass. Starfield is set in an area that extends outward from the solar system for approximately 50 light years, called the Settled Systems. Around the year 2310, the two largest factions in the game, the United Colonies and Freestar Collective, engaged in a conflict called the Colony War. The game takes place 20 years after the war, with the major factions enjoying an uneasy peace. In Starfield, players can switch between a first-person and third-person perspective at any time. Starfield features an open world in the form of an area within the Milky Way galaxy, containing both fictional and non-fictional planetary systems, with players being able to land on more than 1,000 planets and an unspecified number of moons and space stations. Now, Starfield is not exactly a game that I usually go for. And even when it was announced, a year or two ago, I wasn't really excited. I have never been one that have found myself going to Western RPGs in general. I've always gravitated toward traditional JRPGs when I have dabbled in the RPGs. But with the impending launch of Starfield, every time I saw it, the more intrigued I got. For some reason, as much as I love fantasy, as much as I love wizardry and swordplay, those sort of RPGs, westernized ones, so particularly Morrowind, Skyrim, Oblivion, all of those previous Bethesda RPGs just never really appealed to me for some odd reason, even though it really should just really be in my wheelhouse. Never found myself getting into them. Even with the Fallout series, never been a big fan of sort of post-apocalyptic nuclear stories. So it's one of the things that it sounds like a great game. It sounds like something I should be interested in, but I just not. It's just one of those things that I've never been interested. So I am not coming into this with a a lot of praise or reverence for Bethesda and what they've done before from a personal standpoint. I've had family members that played Skyrim forever, especially when it came out a decade ago. People I know love the Fallout series and how that has evolved over the years. Even 76, they had some kinks in it. Going forward, they have fixed it, so it's become a lot more of a serviceable game, at least from what I've been told. Again, I've never played. And as Starfield became more and more clear as to what it was just something about it that made me want to play. I am such a sci-fi fan, and this is very reminiscent of a lot of that grim and grittier sci-fi, like The Expanse that was on Amazon, and a lot of the other sci-fi that's come out, particularly television shows over the past few years. Even something like a Firefly, that sort of space western sort of thing. And this opening setting here is very dark, is very dreary since you're in the cave, but I feel as though it's a pretty good tutorial, at least with basics of how to operate your character, how to use a weapon, even some of the exploration mechanics that you're getting and finding here as we go into the cave that's going to change our lives. Now, I, at the time of this recording, am only a few hours into the game, and there's a whole lot more to explore. And I am coming away from this game so far very impressed. I really enjoy the mechanics of it. And again, it's not the richest mechanics, at least at this point in the game: shooting, walking, interacting, talking, sort of hallmarks of any basic game nowadays. And now we are going to reach out and touch the artifact and have our minds blown. So this looks like an acid trip, really like a sci-fi acid trip. And then of course something like this knocks you out and you wake up in sick bay. Hours have passed, and again, this isn't so much spoilers because all of this footage is going to be from really like the first hour of the game, if even that far, just to give you an idea of what this game looks like, how these characters interact, and also how the fighting happens. Now, what you just saw was just some of the custom characterizations. Didn't go through too much through that because of, you can be very detailed, making yourself look how you want, walk how you want, as well as crafting yourself as whatever different profession. I chose a xenobiologist with some of my professional background entwined in that. I thought it was just really fun. Doesn't really look like me. I've never been the greatest at the sort of character creation aspect of a lot of these games, or I'm just too lazy. I don't want to sit there and just tweak my character or whatever. Skin color is pretty good, hair is pretty on point as far as what my actual facade looks like. So I think we're good to go with that one. So here I am. We are going to meet our buyer for the artifact, and from there you will see how things traverse. I have to say, I really enjoy the landing and takeoff animations for these spaceships. It looks very powerful, meaning that like you don't want to stand next to it. Here we are going from first person to third person perspective. I, for whatever reason, really enjoy playing the first person perspective in this game. It is, when I'm in third person, I feel like things are going too fast and I'm not taking in the environment and the scenery as well as I would when I'm in first person. I like being able to look around. I feel like your character moves a lot slower as well, which gives you time, especially when it comes to the later battles, to really take your time and to aim, as well as just move around and dodge enemies and their gunfire also. And even later on with the creatures you end up encountering on the planet, I feel like being in first person gives me better maneuverability when it comes to avoiding attacks, or in some cases being blindsided by attacks when the creatures roll up on your ship and they ain't supposed to be there. So here we are talking with our buyer from Constellation, who is this organization that is after the artifact which you have found. Now, mind you, the story itself, you find an artifact, you have a trippy experience. Now you are the quote unquote person that has to go and figure this out. Not exactly groundbreaking sci-fi tropes, but it works nonetheless, and it is a tried and true sort of plot device to get you up and out into the world of Starfield. Now here he is informing us that he's happy to get his credits, but he's about to tell us, yeah, he has some uninvited guests that have been following him. One of the things I did not like, not about this game, but about people's assessment of this game, reviewers and so on and so forth. There was a lot of conversation about the quote-unquote dead eyes, deadpans of the face. I had no issues with the facial models or even the expressions of this. It's the art style that the company chose, and that was that. So here you see the battle. I like the robot. I let the robot do a lot of the work, but I love the feel of the gun. In this case, in this gun, the first gun you get, the gunfire, it feels very natural. It is very satisfying as well. I feel like it has some weight to it. And I love the aiming. I felt like the aiming wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard either. If you played first-person shooters any way, shape, or form, you could have a pretty easy time getting the handle of how the battle system works on this game. One of the things I really love, though, are the sound effects. I was really impressed by the sound effects in this game, especially in this open level with the laser fire and the bullets, as well as just the other aspects of the environment that are going on here. I'm going to get a health pack because, I was about to die. Actually, the first time through this, I didn't get the health pack and I died really quickly because I was trying to go in guns blazing. So I had to restart and change my strategy when it came to battling these pirates. These cargo crates give very effective cover in this stage when it comes to fighting the pirates. Got a man down. We got one more left. Let's go get him. Nope. No, we got this guy over here. Sorry, we got him. I thought the robot took him out. All right, now we got one more. Let's go get him. Let's chase him up the hill. What's on this saying? Like everybody has been killed, but he's still trying to run away. Like he's going to get the artifact. Again, I really love the aiming and the gun and how it fires, especially in this one. I haven't gotten too many others. The laser from the mining section was okay. It felt like much like was it plasma cannon or whatever it is from Halo, when it came to just how it felt as far as playing it and the weight of it, as far as like the rumble effect and everything. So it wasn't bad at all in that regard. But again, nothing remarkable in my opinion. So I really enjoyed this section. I'm looking forward to more space battles as we go on. And one of the things you're not going to see here, but after takeoff, you ended up going into space and you're fighting off more pirates. I've never been a big fan of space battle games in this regard. One of the biggest drawbacks of the Halo series, in my opinion, I think it was Halo 2, was when it had that space battle scene. Like, it's okay, but there's something about space that's disorienting for me as far as a gamer and those battles. I have to say that the Starfield so far, they do it well. I wouldn't say it's like amazing, but again, my opinion is biased on spaceship battles, personally speaking. It's something I can definitely tolerate in this game. I just have to get my own spatial awareness together as I'm playing, because as I'm moving up on the screen in space, like my head is going up too, like I can really see it also. So it's actually quite funny and amusing, at least to me. So in this case, he's basically telling you, hey, you need to go, I'll stay in your place, and you need to figure out and connect with the rest of Constellation and figure out what this artifact is all about. So again, I don't have an issue with the faces at all.
Just go. Before I say something I regret.
I will say, I love the voice acting so far. The voices are really top notch. They're very much in sync with the faces and the voices, excuse me, the faces and the lips of the characters. I really love this. The cockpit is really detailed, made me feel like I was inside of it, and the takeoff is just oh so sweet. All in all, I really have enjoyed Starfield and look forward to getting more and more hours into it. Definitely get it.